Let me start. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Jerilynn Renfroe, and I appreciate you guys joining me today. I just wanted to spend a few minutes and explain to you why my life is like the iPhone and why the iPhone represents who I am. So first of all, some of you are younger, some of you are a little bit older, but if you think back to your younger days when you were like 5 or 6 years old, I don't know about you guys, but we had this really cool game called Pong that was made by Atari. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Steve Jobs actually invented Pong. And I thought that he was like one of the coolest guys ever, because who else could come up with this game that would entertain you for hours to have a ball go back and forth, and your whole goal was to not let it go off the screen. Little did I know that in my 40s, he would still be influencing my life with the invention of the iPhone. So from Pong to the iPhone, Steve Jobs has been an important part of my life. So there's some commonalities that I share with the iPhone, and one of the things that we share is I would like to start with the cover. So if you take a look at the cover, you can see that I have this really colorful Disney Frozen cover on the outside, and that represents the things that I like to do in life. I love Disney. It's one of my favorite places to go. Disney movies are very uplifting. One of the other things that it reminds me of are the vacations that I spend with my family, and that's one of the most important things to me is family and being able to spend time with them. Another thing about the cover is if I get tired of this cover, I can just take it off and either have my phone all by itself, or I can put a more colorful cover on it, like pink and green, or if I'm having a drab day, I could even put black on there if I wanted to. Another thing about my iPhone cover is you can tell it's not perfect. It's broken in spots, it's got a little crack in it, but you can't really tell whenever you're just looking at it. So there are some broken parts to me sometimes, and I still do a good job of protecting the things that are important to me. Whenever I turn on the iPhone, the first thing that I see is there's a protective screen, and you really have to get to know me to be able to get that passcode to get in to know who I am. So it takes a little bit of trust to get to know who I am, but once you get it, you can get in and pretty much see anything about me that you want to. On my opening screen is a picture of my husband and myself. My husband's very important to me. He supports me and makes me really happy, as you can tell in here. Another important part of my iPhone that represents my life are my photos, and my photos go back to 2009, and probably 95% of these pictures are my family, and of those, probably 95% of those are my grandchildren. And they are what keep me grounded and what makes me realize what's really important in life whenever things start getting really hectic. The vacation pictures in here, again, are just really happy memories. Whenever we're having sad days, you can go in and think about the things that were happy. This phone also represents my career, and you might think, how in the world does a phone represent your career? Well, I'm sure there was like a prototype and an iPhone 1 and an iPhone 2. Well, I actually started with the iPhone when it was an iPhone 3. And I equate that back to whenever I first started my career as an LPN, and I thought that was the best thing ever. I was a nurse, and what else in life did I want to do? But just like the iPhone progressed to a 4 and a 5, and now a 6 Plus. I equate getting my RN and working as a bedside to my great 4S whenever I upgraded to that. And then I became a manager, which is my 5S, and now I'm aspiring to get my BSN, which I equate to the 6 Plus, so that's my goal. Do I really think that iPhone's going to stop progressing throughout time? Absolutely not. I think it'll continue to grow. Just like with my career, I don't think that I will stop as a BSN manager. I think that my career will continue to grow as well. Another thing about the iPhone is it can be a loner. You can just leave it alone and it'll do its own thing, and it'll keep projecting and doing the things that it does, and you don't really have to mess with it. The computer stays updated, the time keeps updated, and sometimes I do like to be alone. But you can also get on the iPhone and you can network with people through Facebook and Skype, and stay in touch with your friends and your family through that. And so I also love to network, so I'm like the iPhone there too. Some days the iPhone has a really bad day. There's bad connections and the path is not exactly what you thought it would be. And in my life, I have that as well. Sometimes days are bad and I get off track, but you can pretty much reset and find your right direction and get right back on path. The one thing that a lot of people forget about the iPhone is that you have to shut it down and give it time to rejuvenate. And we forget that in our lives sometimes as well. And sometimes I forget on the weekends or on vacation to maybe put the iPhone away or stay away from the work computer. And so sometimes you have to remember to shut it down and to shut myself down so that I can rejuvenate and have the energy that I need to have to be able to continue and move on. So, and as you can see, just like the iPhone, I'm very versatile. You can also see that it's very important to me because it holds my career and my family and my fingertips. So in closing, I would just like for you to take a minute the next time you look at your phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, and think about how do you compare yourself to your phone and what does it connect to you. So thank you guys.
Yay! 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
That was excellent.